What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Live Tales from the Comments, and we're back on the boring blue wall that I've yet to decorate. So, first and foremost, we are actually going to be talking about your comments from the Harley Quinn Real Origin video and the alter ego about Bruce Banner / David Banner, Hulk. It's confusing. Let's get right into it. So the very first comments that I want to address on the Harley Quinn video come from tons of people like ArkofShadows and a bunch of others who were confused about, I'd mentioned Arlene Sorkin had voiced the character of Harley Quinn for decades, and there were a lot of people who were like, but I thought Tara Strong voiced the character, which is absolutely true. I didn't mean to imply that Arlene Sorkin was the only person to ever voice Harley Quinn, just that she was the first and continues to do so. Tara Strong, of course, also one of the classic voices of Harley Quinn. I believe Tara Strong actually voiced Batgirl in the animated series of Batman, and is also reprising that role for the Killing Joke movie, which comes out today. I'm seeing it. Dylan's seeing it. He says woo. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, so hopefully that clears that up. Also, Arlene Sorkin did provide the voice for the first Arkham game, and then I think it was Tara Strong for every other Arkham game after that. Don't quote me on that. Do your own research. I don't know. Alright, let's move on to this great comment thread that was started by DarkHero Gamer and contributed on by people like creshiell, RectonPunch, DeKuTree, all sorts of great people who were having this great conversation. We have it up on the screen right now. I encourage you to go read it about Harley's costume change and how they're saying, well, I like the original more than her updated look, both in the comics and the movies. And people were saying, well, maybe that's just a way that she's, distinguishing herself from the Joker as trying to be more of an independent character. And then some people were saying, like, well, then why doesn't she change her name? Harley Quinn was suggested by the Joker. Why is she still going by that name? All in all, it was a fantastic conversation, really interesting. If you have your own thoughts and inputs, all of these comments will be in the description below if you want to go check them out. Throw your own thoughts into the mix as well. I think it actually might be worth doing a video on, potentially. Also, I just want to say before I forget, because this is a live show, leave some good comments about all the stuff we're talking about. We'll get to it right at the end. So look forward to that. The next one I want to talk about comes from Daniel Adkins, who, I'd mentioned in the video that Harley and Ivy have their romps together, and he was like, yeah, sure, romps. And this is actually something I wanted to do a tie-in about, but I don't think we're going to be able to, so I thought I would address it here and say that after, years of fan speculation and everything, it did come out fairly recently that Harley and Ivy are definitely in a relationship together. It's not just, like DC's openly and outwardly saying it now. We have the tweet from it. I think, do we have the tweet? It's on the screen? Good. Awesome. So that, as you can see, they're in a relationship. It's non-monogamous. There's no jealousy involved. It's just adorable. And it allows for them to have relationships with other people and still be together. So yeah, I think it's really, really cool that that they've, made it official. And I think it's weird that Poison Ivy is probably Harley Quinn's healthiest relationship, even though they're both murderers. I don't know. But yeah, good stuff. Let's move on to, this is a comment from Brocko's World, who just leaves something really, really interesting. In the origin of Harley Quinn, the Mad Love comic book, they show her as a gymnast, and one of the panels is that she's doing the rings. I don't know what that's called other than probably just rings. And they comment why is she doing that? That's, historically supposed to be a man's sport. Which me being super sports guy that I am, totally knew that. No, but it was super interesting. I had no idea that there was this dichotomy there. And I looked into it, and apparently it's regarded as a male sport because it takes an incredible amount of upper body strength to do that. And so that makes me wonder if Harley Quinn is super strong, and we just never said. That was our little clue for that. So that'll do it for the Harley Quinn video. We have some more comments on the Hulk video. First and foremost, I want to address this one here about how, oh wow, it's an actual, comic misconception about, Bruce's, or Hulk's name. Is it Bruce? Is it David? Is it Robert? Blah, blah, blah. Which is interesting because it wasn't on a comic misconception, it was on an alter ego. And I get this comment a lot, and I just want to address it really quickly and say that comic misconceptions, it's just the name of the show. I use the example of Variant, Eris from the YouTube channel Variant Comics. He doesn't just talk about Variant comic book covers all day. He just talks about comics. And I feel like I should be allowed to do the same. I just like puns, and so back in the day when I was thinking of a name for the show, I thought, oh, comic misconceptions kind of sounds like common misconceptions. I don't know, fine. I went through like 30 seconds of thought process coming up with the name. I didn't know we'd still be doing it years later. So I'm sorry if it bothers you that I don't tackle actual misconceptions on the show, but just the name. But in regards to the Hulk himself, a couple commenters like Nicholas Canevit, Jimmy Changa, which is a fantastic name, all commented about David being the name of Hulk in the TV show, also being referenced in other places like the 2003 Hulk movie as Bruce's father, and also in the comics as his father. I believe it's Brian David Banner in the comic books. So I have to imagine that those are not accidental, that they are references to the Incredible Hulk TV show. And it's just, it's more of them kind of feeding off of each other, just referencing one another back and forth, which is pretty interesting. One last comment here from Dodo Odo. Talks about, they want to know my opinions on the very last line of the Justice League trailer, and also how Etta Candy is going to be in the Wonder Woman movie. And I'm glad you brought this up because we were actually going to be doing a live podcast, a live NerdSync podcast about all of the Comic-Con news from the trailers and the announcements, casting stuff, all of that. Tomorrow, actually, live here right on the channel, about 4 or 5 Central Time. More details will come out about that. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be Bryce, Chris, and myself. Probably maybe some other people involved as well. It's our 100th episode of the podcast. Go, look forward to that tomorrow. We also have a brand new the 99th episode comes out today, sometime. I haven't finished it yet, but we're working on it. I know there's a lot of you out there who are like, I didn't even know you had a podcast, and now you're on the 100th episode. What is this madness? Yeah, it'll be linked in the description below. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all of those places where RSS feeds go when they're answering comments. But I do want to I want to spotlight one final thing here. This is a piece of glorious fan art. This comes from the Twitter user at Dex171290. Their name is Prime Directives. It's so good. I love it so much. You're going to win this week's NerdSync No Prize, even though we haven't made the animation for that yet available here. But look at it. Dylan's clapping.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. But why? If you have your own fan art, I always love to see that stuff. You can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. All of our social media stuff's going to be linked down there below. So what do you say we move on to some of your guys' comments, answer a couple of those about the Harley Quinn video, the real origin, and also the Hulk stuff. Also, just one thing before we get into that, start leaving those comments now, but we are going to, Dylan, pass me that comic that's sitting right next to you. This Wednesday, we're going to be tackling this comic book in the first of a 3-part series. So if you haven't read it and you don't want spoilers, I encourage you to pick it up in some capacity. Go read it. It's real good. Obviously, it's a classic. It's Batman the Killing Joke. I didn't say that, but there you go. Yeah, so if you don't want me to ruin that for you, go pick it up, go read it. We're going to be talking about it for 3 videos over the course of the next few weeks. So that'll be pretty fun. All right, let's dive into your guys' comments here. Yes, in an Elseworld story, Harley and Ivy together, I believe in the Bombshells universe they are together, right? Dylan, you know you're a DC guy.
Totally.
Yes, but this was something that DC announced in the mainstream continuity as well, as like this is an actual thing. They are absolutely together. Although I do know that it wasn't DC themselves, it was the people who were writing the Harley Quinn comic, I think, took over the DC Twitter and were answering questions about it. I'm not sure if DC themselves have ever put out an official statement, but that's as official as we're ever going to get. It came from their own Twitter account by the people who are writing the comic, so I'd like to say it's probably official. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this comes from Olivia Flood, who's saying Harley Quinn's costume has become like more sexualized in the comic books and in the movies to kind of show that she is not just interested in the Joker anymore, which again kind of lends itself to the idea that she's trying to find her own identity outside of the Joker, not just being the Harley Quinn, not just keeping that same costume that she's always had with him, but just going out and being her own person, which I think is pretty great. And again, I think it could be its own video someday. We just have a lot of Suicide Squad stuff coming up, and I think I'm going to save that one for another time so I don't overwhelm you guys. This one comes from Pampin _Latour. So is Harley bi? That's a great question. It would seem so. It would appear so. I think because I think in that same comic book, she does go on dates with guys as well. It just seems like Harley, like they said, Harley and Ivy have this relationship where it's non-monogamous. There's no jealousy involved, and they can just do each other. They can just nope. They can just do their own thing, and also come back and be with each other as well. Yeah, so, wait, was there a Spider-Man Homecoming Comic-Con trailer? Did I miss that? I think you're messing with me. There wasn't. Okay, good. Oh, man, guys, I was gonna freak out then a little bit. This is probably, I think we're gonna answer, let's see if we can do one more, and then that'll probably be it for now. But again, I just want to remind you, live podcast on the channel tomorrow for talking about all of the Comic-Con stuff, including all the Spider-Man Homecoming news that we got about Vulture and all that stuff as well. So if you're interested in that, interested to hear your opinions on it, please come hang out with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's see here.
What's your favorite version of Harley?
My favorite version of Harley? It's a great question. Who said that? Do you know? Missed it. Comments fly by so fast. I apologize. My favorite version of Harley is probably, I don't know. I really like I really like the Arkham games versions of her a lot. Not particularly a huge fan of the costumes, but I love the way that she acts, and she has a huge role in those games as well. At least with City and Asylum, I haven't beaten any of the other ones yet. I'm working on it. But yeah, what about you, Dylan? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I haven't seen or read enough of them to have an opinion.
Good. No opinion either way. But yeah. So I think that'll probably do it for the comments this week, guys. We're still working out this live comment system. We're gonna hopefully have another person in here to kind of queue up comments as they come in, so that we kind of have a pool to select from, so it's not just kind of wildly sporadic as it is right now. Thank you for bearing with us as we try and experiment with this. I appreciate it so much. You guys are great. I love you. If you missed any of the videos we talked about, they're gonna be over this way? Am I pointing in the right direction? Well, they're not anymore. They'll be in the comments below. I forgot we changed the thing. They'll be in the description, rather. Down there. Look at this. This whole episode's a mess right now. Thanks for watching, guys. You're the best. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another episode of Comic Misconceptions. And on Friday for yet another episode of Comic Misconceptions. What? 2 in 1 week? Yes, it's going to be crazy. And it's going to be a lot of fun as well. See you then. Bye.